Hi everyone, welcome to Gailify. Do you remember when dating used to be very easy? Like you go to school, or a lot of us met our partners in school, or perhaps in church, or in the community. It was quite easy, wasn't it? Like you meet someone that you know and that you like, you befriend the person, you guys stay friends for a while, and then things can get serious, and then you can take the relationship from there. It was traditional, it was easy, you kind of like knew everybody around the area that you wanted to date, really. And it wasn't a hassle at all, but things are very, very different right now. And that introduces me into today's topic. I want us to talk about why modern dating can feel very confusing. Now, I want to start with one thing that I am grateful for this time. We do have a lot of advantage now because we have more freedom, more choice, and more control than ever before. Now people are not restricting their children into, who they marry and stuff. There's still that cultural stereotype quite strongly out there. But because of the education, a lot of parents are being relaxed around who their partners choose. Obviously, they expect you to choose someone that's respectful, kind, empathetic, like all the core stuff that you need in a good partner. But whereas before there used to be issues around like some cultures being banned from marrying other cultures, or some tribes being banned from marrying other tribes. But then even now, it's things are worse. People are not getting married. People are not finding partners, and it's crazy because now we have, dating apps. We have all the resources that should actually make us meet more people and make it easy, but it's not easy. So just want to talk about why modern dating can feel so confusing and what you can do about it. So I think one of the problems is the fact that before we used to, just think about our mums and dads and their system when they got married. Everything was quite easy and straightforward. Like I said, you look for the core qualities. You look for, perhaps a lady will look for a man that's working, able to bring home the bacon and the bread, and just stick with them. A man might find a lady that's quite good, with managing the home, raising kids, stick with that. But now expectations are way high. So aside the fact that we've got more choice, our cutoff point has actually gone high. So people are not just looking for, like, for instance, if you take women, they're not just looking for a man that's going to bring home the bacon. They need someone that's going to bring home the bacon, support, be ready to do household chores, be able to support the woman emotionally as well. And you've got men that also don't just want a woman that will want to stay home. They want someone that's ready to go out there and work and bring home some money. Someone that's able to contribute to the growth and development of the family, the kids. And because there's like more people, more fishes in the pool now, you don't know what to choose, isn't it? Like before, it's just like the analogy of choosing a dress. If you have one dress, you know what you're wearing, just that one dress. But if you have 5 dresses, you could end up saying you don't even have a dress to wear because you're confused as to which one to wear. So that's the same kind of problem we have now. So I believe it's a problem. Like the more choice you have, the more confusing it can get. And also because of social media, a lot of people are doing long distances. And if you talk about dating apps, I'm not very versatile in dating apps. I can't really make a lot of comments about it. But I believe you find someone's profile, you see what matches with who you are and like your own traits and stuff. And if you're a good match, you kind of like start chatting to the person. Now, this person can be miles away, but then you've started to establish that relationship. So you don't get that, you may not get that face-to-face. But sometimes you're able to meet the person like around the area and go out, which is great. But sometimes if the person is like far away, you might not be able to meet the person quite early on, which is difficult because if you're kind of like sizing someone up for like a dating relationship or marriage, you really want to know what the first impression is, and just the vibes on like how you guys get along and stuff like that. So that's definitely a problem. And also, I think it's difficult to be honest. Like, people can lie when they know that you're not going to know where they live or who they are, really. Even seeing someone face to face in your local area, people can still hide stuff, So imagine you're not involved in the family, you're not involved in the person's friends. It's basically you and the person. They can hide a lot from you. So that's also one thing that makes it hard. But these are not dead ends, like they're fixable. So obviously you've got to make sure, like as much as possible, if you're identifying people in your own local area, people that you can build real authentic connections with. Now, I'm not against dating apps at all. I know people have made fantastic relationships on there. So, it has got its place, and it's fantastic to be able to meet people from all over the world through an app. But I think it can be confusing when you don't know what you want. So you can dial down to like people in your area, someone that you can meet, and kind of like size up a little bit and see how you feel about them. Someone that kind of like shares your value in a lot of ways. Make sure you are ready for the dating world, and you are someone that can give to a relationship. And once you've done that, you've got to set out what you desire, your values, like core stuff that are non-negotiables. And then, you have to also think about, like, for instance, the proximity of yourself to the person and stuff like that. And perhaps people that can vouch for that person. So for instance, if you met the person in a local area, it's easy. But then if we're talking about, a dating app, then it's quite difficult, to meet the families and stuff. So you might have to start the relationship and then get a bit more information about the person later on, or you can do a lot more digging to see if you can meet people that know this person and can vouch for their character, or just give you a bit of reassurance and confidence about the person that you're choosing. But hey ho, dating does not mean you have decided to marry them. So obviously it is a testing ground to identify if you're going to work together and stuff like that. One last thing I'm going to say is don't waste too much time making your decision. Once you feel like this is not a good match, you've got to move on. If you've explored every possible thing to make it work and you think it's not going to work, it's not worth wasting the time. There's a vast array of people that will fit your profile and who you are and can fit very, very well with you in planning your life and living together for companionship and as a life partner. So I just want to conclude and say that even though modern dating comes with a whole new set of challenges that are not unsolvable, there are stuff that we can deal with support. Make sure you're not doing this on your own. You've got family involved that can also keep you grounded and also keep an eye out for you. Just make sure you've got people out there that can ground you, and overall just make sure you're keeping your eyes open and looking out for the most important things that will sustain a relationship for the long term. So it's been wonderful. This is Gailify with Let's Fix It. So if you've got issues like these, obviously I hope these tips help. Let me know what you think about them, and if there's any other problems or issues that you are facing and that you feel a lot of people will benefit from having solutions to, just don't hesitate to comment. Make sure to like, subscribe and share this video, and I will see you next time. Peace out.